The Phoenix Rising pregame show is brought to you by Reese's Dental and Braces.
And Phoenix Rising FC look to protect a 7-match unbeaten streak at Casino Arizona Field that dates back to 2018 as they play host to Eric Winalda and Las Vegas Lights FC for the first time here in the 2019 USL Championship season. Tyler Terrence along with the ex-German pro, glad to have you with us. And pregame, as always, brought to you by Reese's Dental. And Devin, of course, Phoenix Rising coming off of that gut-wrenching midweek U.S. Open Cup loss to New Mexico United, in where they fell in penalties. They're going to have some rotation in tonight's game, and they're going to get a little bit of help from the youth and some boys from FC Tucson.
The theme of the night is going to be FC Tucson on both sides of the ball. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's start at the outside back positions. Kyle Bjornathan and Austin Ledbetter. These are guys who have really excelled at FC Tucson. Rick Schantz telling us regularly, I've kept an eye on them. They've done well when they've come to training with us. Now they've been given a nod in the starting 11. You see what they've done over the past few years. Both of them nice draft picks coming out of college, and then an opportunity to get double-digit appearances for their squads overall. Kyle Bjornathan did a good job with his two teams, T2 as well as Toronto 2. And Austin Ledbetter was a part of that Preki as well as Anthony Pulis experiment and went south for him. Both of them given a second chance opportunity, they look to make the most of it.
Ledbetter, of course, had that terrific performance filling in at center back in that game against Sacramento. Meanwhile, on the other side for Las Vegas Lights FC, a side that certainly looks a lot more organized than 2018. They're going to see a lot of shots tonight, and Thomas Olsen's going to need to come up big.
Nicknamed TKO said he's going to actually be the future mayor of Las Vegas. Got a little bit of work to do, buddy. But FC Tucson, again, another FC Tucson guy back in 2015, 2016, while he was at University of San Diego. Another high draft pick, drafted 50th overall by Colorado. But he had to sit last year for the Las Vegas Lights. He's been given the shirt this year. He has taken it and run with it. He has done absolutely fantastic. 5 clean sheets in 2019. You see the 3 in 2018. Great pickup, great addition. Eric Winalda loves him.
Phoenix Rising FC 2-1-0 against Las Vegas all time, and they're looking for 3 points that could catapult them in a tie for third. It's Phoenix and Vegas when we come back.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Almost set for kickoff here at Casino Arizona Field between Phoenix and Vegas in the USL Championship. And tonight's game brought to you by Equality Health. Tyler Terrence, and sitting 3.5 centimeters away from me is the ex-German pro, Devin Kerr. So glad that you could join us on ESPN Plus or perhaps your Phoenix CW. Devin, we'll take a look at the Phoenix Rising FC starting 11, a bit of rotation, especially along the back line.
The most athletic man in this organization, Duiji Mala. That could help out on set-piece opportunities, but rotating 3 out of 4, AJ Cochran will be the lone light to help steer these guys going forward to midfield 3. Very similar. Aguinaga gets the opportunity next to Piquero and Lambert. And how about this? Solomon Asante stepping in up top on the right side, gets the opportunity to go with the starting 11. We'll see how that starts to pan out.
And on the other side for Eric Winalda and Las Vegas Lights FC, they have a bit of rotation as well. Not as heavy as you would think for Rick Schonstedt. What are we looking at?
Well, it's funny with them because they're the usual suspects, though the implementation is a bit different. Eric Gonzalez is on the left side, Moby Fair on the right. That's the guy who usually sits in the middle of the field, but they've been struggling at right back. A lot of injuries, a lot of rotation there. He does a good job in coverage in general, but do they want to make that his spot? No, that's not the case whatsoever. Pablo Cruz, Junior Sandoval, he had a worldly goal a couple matches ago, but this is a team who is starting to gain some momentum, especially after the Open Cup Cal FC win.
It was a win in which Eric Winalda obviously knew Cal FC extremely well, just said, I knew all their tendencies, knew that they would try to get ahead of themselves, and just simply played a classic version of rope-a-dope against his former squad in Cal FC, able to come away with a 2-0 win. They'll move on to the next round as we'll officially get underway from Casino Arizona Field. Mark Allison gets us underway. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. 3 points up for grabs in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. So glad to have you with us on this spectacular Saturday evening. Brought down by Austin Ledbetter, who we mentioned before, along with Kyle Bjornathan, making their first starts for Phoenix Rising. 2 boys that have spent the majority of 2019 with FC Tucson in League One, as we already have an early injury that looks to be nothing more than just a bit of a knock. Mr. Christian Torres. And speaking of injuries, let's take a look at tonight's Mayo Clinic injury report. Usual suspects in Rigi and Johnson on there. Colin Fernandez also unable to go. And De La Fuente unavailable for Eric Winalda's group.
De La Fuente, one of the guys at right back that has been in rotation and dealing with lower body injury. Kevin Garcia Lopez, another one. They've rotated some other pieces out. Tabore Taka, Ferretti Sousa, all of them getting the opportunity along this back line. Pretty much Jabin Torre, Gabe Robinson, Eric Gonzalez, the main 3. With that 4th piece, always keeps us second guessing.
Vegas threatening early. You've seen this a number of times from Phoenix this year, especially in the last match in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup against New Mexico United. It required a couple of great saves as Junior Fleming's able to strip the defender. Could be in here. Fleming saved by Olsen. Hit it right at him. Terrific chance in the opening 120 seconds for Phoenix, but denied by the former FC Tucson man and Thomas Olsen.
Fleming does everything right except the final finish. Picks the pocket one-on-one with the goalkeeper. All he has to do is just put it to the corner. Hits it right at TKO. Thomas Olsen still has to make the save, but it is right at the goalkeeper. Easy for him to just go to the ground, collect, go the other direction.
Thomas Olsen feeling right at home in the state of Arizona, where he spent 2 seasons while he was with the University of San Diego. Devin, I was just about to mention how Phoenix, a number of times this year, have given up those types of chances in the first 5 minutes of a game. They're able to create one of their own, and it would have been a great way, especially with some tired legs all over the field, to get an opening lead and just sort of be able to maybe relax a little bit.
You do have some doubt from the visitors now. Don't back off. Continue to apply that pressure. See if you can go out here and make a statement opening 5-10 minutes. It's something that Phoenix early on struggled to do. They were playing from behind a lot, but things have been so consistent at home. You have to remember, Phoenix Rising are on a 7-match unbeaten streak at Casino Arizona Field. And so regardless of rotation, guys that have lots of opportunity and capability of carrying these leadership roles, and that's where you have to get the pickup. for the young guys like Kyle Bjornathan, Austin Ledbetter, and I say that because they're young in terms of their experience within this squad. Obviously, loads of reps at other clubs, but making their debuts in the starting 11 for Phoenix Rising.
And Flemings commits the foul, and now is as good a time as any to take a look at the Allsco uniform report for Phoenix Rising. Red and black, Las Vegas, white and blue, all is right in the world. If you did see some camouflage in the Phoenix Rising warm-up tops during pregame, all part of Military Appreciation Night here in the Valley of the Sun. Thomas Olsen, 5 clean sheets on the year, originally from Las Vegas, just 24 years of age. As Evan mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 50th overall selection by the Colorado Rapids in last year's MLS Super Draft. Jose Aguinaga set off the ball by Junior Sandoval, 28-year-old from Honduras. Actually grew up in Alpharetta, Georgia, and this foul is going to be against Vegas. Mark Allenton pointing in favor of Phoenix Rising FC and a makeshift corner of sorts.
Thomas Olsen has bailed this team out time and time again. There was a good look just 2 minutes into the match. You're talking about a goalkeeper who has elevated his squad defensively. Second in the league in shutouts, behind the likes of El Paso Locomotive and Tampa Bay Rowdies. John McCarthy having some sort of season for Neil Collins under the Rowdies. And then just below them, St. Louis FC. So they're in good company, at least in regard to that stat.
How about all the former Bethlehem Steel Boys who were just off to a terrific start in 2019. Santi Moar from New Mexico United, of course, as this ball wasn't a bad one, but won by Vegas. Vegas have yet to win a road game in 2019. They only won 2 a year ago. As Adam John sends in a low cross, it was a good ball. Vegas will handle it appropriately, and we'll have a corner kick coming up brought to you by our friends over at Carvana. Don't miss the Memorial Day sale on now at Arizona's largest Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford. Not only will you get the biggest discounts and incentives of the year, you'll also get an additional $500 Visa card with the purchase or lease of any new Ford. Baquero on the corner, played all 120 minutes. And that was a really, really dangerous challenge. And it's AJ Cochran who's down for Phoenix. Both players went up. It was a fair 50-50. Both players checking for blood, and it's a good sign to see at least one of them standing up. AJ Cochran looks to have gotten the brunt of it. And the respective athletic trainers immediately on the scene will go through the necessary concussion protocols.
No foul here. All that's trying to go on is a 50-50 on the back post. That is not something you want to remember. Big ball in. AJ Cochran just going head to head with 2 of the big bodies of Las Vegas Lights.
Great to see AJ Cochran smiling. What a warrior he's been for Phoenix. He's played almost every minute for Rick Shantz along the back line so far. And he was the only one that remains consistent from the midweek game against New Mexico in the 106th edition of Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup that went into penalties. And both players appear to be all right. Corey Robertson from Las Vegas Lights FC, the athletic trainer, still checking. Looks like there was a little bit of blood as they're keeping some pressure on the lacerated area for Aventura. What a revelation AJ Cochran has been for Phoenix, Devin. I remember we were having conversations with the front office of Phoenix, and taking a look around the league, who can we slide into that left center back position, who can distribute, who's a lefty more importantly, and to be able to slide in. And AJ Cochran, I feel like, was probably one of the offseason signings that went under the radar for Phoenix, but I mean, he's been there every single week.
To give you an idea of what he's capable of on the ball, and that's a big thing you have to look at here, is coming out of the Atlanta United 2 in 2018, they're a squad that likes to play a lot. They want to put the ball on the deck and they want to maintain possession. He was third on the team in passes attempted and completed, first for defenders. And that's easy to go, oh yeah, he was a defender playing out of the back. No, this guy moved all over the field. He did a good job progressing those movements offensively going forward and just maintaining the shape defensively. You've seen that this year, and especially from a distribution standpoint, his ability to pick his head up, hit those 20, 30-yard balls on a rope, and spring the attack going forward, even when transitional play isn't necessarily there.
And he, of course, missed the last penalty that was saved by Cody Mizell in the 5th round of Pens against New Mexico United. And it was a bit shocking, and it was a good save from Cody Mizell. And we asked Rick Schantz in our phone call conversation with him a couple of days ago as Cochran makes his way back out onto the field, what was the thought process behind the selection? And he quite simply said, listen, AJ Cochran, we took somewhere around 150 penalties between everybody in the days leading up to the game, and Cochran went, what, 7 for 8 in those penalties, and had the highest conversion rate out of anybody on the team, along with Amadou Dia.
And 3 guys went 7 of 8, and you know, sometimes it's the repetitions before. Confidence is a huge thing, and confidence is a massive thing, because every manager will tell you they get put into those situations. Sometimes you look at your guys and you can stare in their eyes and go, they don't have it. And you know, Rick Schantz said that wasn't the case.
Turnover from Las Vegas. Junior Fleming's leading the charge. Great ball through. John, and it's saved by Olsen. Another glorious chance for Phoenix. And they are not doing themselves any favors at the moment. Both of their chances hit right at Olsen.
This guy's got 3 goals in 3 games for a reason. What a ball in. Adam John, good touch right out in front of him. Cannot finish this, though. Has the entire goal to pick from. Once again, right at Thomas Olsen. And the goalkeeper is at the top of the list in the league for shutouts for a reason. That's not one of them. Phoenix Rising have to close out these opportunities. Las Vegas Lights is not known recently for giving looks up like this. They are very composed on the defensive side, and they were a man up, couldn't take advantage of it.
Had the dramatic equalizer, and what a finish it was against New Mexico United in extra time. Unable to beat Thomas Olsen, who is really enjoying his time back in the state of Arizona. But as Devin mentioned, not exactly highlight reel saves, and I can guarantee you, you won't see either one of those on the USL Championship Save of the Week nominee video that'll come out at the beginning of next week before we hit week 11 of the USL Championship. Great ball from Junior Flemings, though.
That's something that I would say Junior Flemings earlier this year might have been a bit more selfish there and tried to go it alone, but he was smart, allowed the run to progress. Great step by AJ Cochran. Las Vegas Lights rattled here early on. They've been very composed on the ball over their past few games. And nice performance midweek versus Cal FC in the Open Cup game. I was really impressed with what they were able to do in their 4-2 victory, comeback victory at that. Sacramento Republic back on May 4th. And then just 7 days after that, Steve Trichu and co. came to town. Cashman Field was a rockin'. Las Vegas Lights 3-0 victory. And they are not the Las Vegas Lights of 2018. You will see them move the ball much better. They carry a consistent shape, better in communication. It doesn't hurt to have Eric Winalda back there steering the engine in the right direction.
As far as league play is concerned, able to win back-to-back games for the first time in club history. And they're looking to make it 3 in a row. But their struggles away from home speak for themselves.
Well, the problem is, and these 2 numbers will give you a good idea. Over the course of their organization's awesome but short history, they are now +12 in goal differential at home. They are -32 on the road. And that just gives you an idea. They venture out, and they can't maintain that consistency that we're talking about. Things are a bit different here in 2019, excuse me, but still mimicking the form in 2018.
Irvin Parra. Las Vegas showing a bit of teeth here in the 14th minute. Early ball whipped in, handled by Mala beautifully. It falls right to the feet of Kevon Lambert. Talked about how Vegas has only won 2 road games in their history so far, and only 2 in 2018. Have yet to win away from Cashman in 19. They won their first ever game on the road against Fresno last year, and their second and last road win in 2018 didn't come until July 22nd against Timbers 2. This year so far, when on the road, Las Vegas will average their first goal conceded on the road in the 13th minute. And they won't score on average until the 70th when playing away from home.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Eric Ronaldo will recognize that, and he'll tell the guys, look, we got to get out an early start here. I don't care who we're playing. Not exactly the form you're looking for so far, but you know, where's Junior Sandoval? Where's Pablo Cruz? Can these guys steady the ship? Christian Torres was the guy last year who did a good job on the far flank of giving them the ability to stretch the field a little bit. Right now, they're just packing it in, hoping they can withstand the pressure.
Flemings again. Does such a great job of putting himself between the opposition and the ball. Very rarely does he just straight up lose it. And Mark Allerton is going to have just a talking to with Junior Sandoval. Puts in the challenge, but unable to win the ball. Cruz draws the foul, 27-year-old from Pasadena, California. Spent 2018 with a club called Sharak over in Armenia. And Eric Ronaldo told us, he said, listen, especially when we're on the road in that game against Cal FC midweek in the U.S. Open Cup, sometimes you want to trick teams into thinking that they have the better possession. They'll wear themselves out a little bit in the beginning of the game, and it's a trick of the trade he learned a long time ago, as this one intended for Solomon Asante, but the offside flag is up, and Solo can't really believe it, as he's making his first start since coming back to the United States after grieving with his family after the loss of his father. And Rick Schantz had nothing but just the world to say about Solomon, basically returning to the U.S. after traveling, what do you say, upwards of about 7,000 miles, because there are no direct flights from Ghana to Phoenix, as we would probably come to expect. But Solomon, the fact that he was able to come on, and they were only expecting him to play 10-15 minutes, and the game only stayed in regulation. Solo ends up playing 45 and makes a penalty in the penalty kick shootout, as that's a rough challenge to Luigi Mala. Not happy about that. Christian Torres as well was involved in the collision. You would think initially that the disciplinary action should be on Mala.
If he doesn't get carded here, I'll be shocked. Watch his step. That is studs up the entire way.
But could you make the argument that Torres is more or less doing the same thing?
He's poking the ball. His studs are out. That's where this gets negligent. It's one thing if you're both going into a tackle. It's another when you're coming foot out, studs up. Christian Torres, just a quick little toe poke. Luigi Mala leading with that bottom of the boot the entire way, and that's why he's getting the stern talking to, and he got clipped as well. It's a quick little follow through, and that's going to leave a mark. However, you have to be so careful, especially when the referee has a front row seat.
Fair play to Mark Allerton, because he's remaining consistent. Junior Sandoval puts in that challenge. If it was his second or third, it was a bit later on in the game, it's probably a card, but he treats Sandoval the way they're just treating Mala. This is your only warning. You're going to get a card next time. Irvin Parra standing on top of it. Just dinks it in, not a bad ball, but Lubin says thank you very much. I'll see that over the byline, and a goal kick coming. And Lubin gets the start tonight, but How about the performance from Carl Wazinski in the Open Cup match? I mean, is it fair to say that Rick Schantz might have the 2 best keepers on his roster in the Western Conference?
He's got a pretty good argument for it. I mean, there's some other guys, the number ones, you could be in the talking point, but when you're pairing the 2 together, it's really hard to counteract that argument. And I said this to Rick in our conversation. You knew Waz had it in him, but the level of difficulty when you haven't started since that 2-2 tie, when Colorado Springs came to town and you gave up that late goal on the free kick, you haven't started or played, as a matter of fact, since then, to come in and put on that kind of performance against that type of opponent on that stage in the U.S. Open Cup second round, second to none from something we've seen this year out of any goalkeeper. No disrespect to Zach Lubin.
And we hear nothing but positive things in terms of the way that they interact with each other, whoever ends up getting knocked, because this happened last year as well, where Lubin ended up getting the opportunity. He was playing really well. He actually gets that laceration to the face against Colorado Springs.
Yep.
And it's funny enough how this footballing world works, where Lubin gets his chance in 2019 after a mistake from Wazinski against Colorado Springs in this season. But the way that they interact with each other, the positivity, and you can't go about it any other way, because if there starts to become a tiff between the 2 keepers, players pick up on that, coaching staff picks up on that, and it's just not a good look.
It shows up in their performances as well, and that's the most detrimental thing that you have to remember in this talking point. But those guys aren't in that situation. They continue to push each other. They're good friends. They train well. Both of them were being told that, you know, they're the ultimate professionals, and that's what you need. Not everybody's going to get the shirt every single game, and to have the opportunity to have both of them in that type of form as well and create that rotation is a great thing. You know, it's something Thomas Olsson, I'm sure, wanted last year in 2018. Ricardo Ferrigno and his antics were all over the place. Olsson didn't necessarily get a lot of looks. He had good numbers when he went in, but El Chalice and Isidro Sanchez just kept going back to Ricardo Ferrigno. He was another one that, you know, you just didn't necessarily know why that decision was being made, but look, he bided his time, sat on the bench, and now he's showing you what he's made of.
The 2019 Nissan Armada, intelligence with attitude. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today.
This is one of those situations where Eric Winalda could be on the reverse psychology of things. Everybody's sitting back and just waiting. Look, sometimes, whether you're playing cat and mouse or not, it doesn't matter. Sometimes going on the road, staying compact, sitting in, and only getting 3 or 4 looks, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. As long as you can convert. If you have a high conversion rate, what does it matter? Because at the end of the day, for Las Vegas Lights, if it says 1-0, does it really matter if you chase the entire time? And they seem to be in that situation right now. Phoenix Rising getting the opportunity to go back and forth. There's Eric Winalda, their main man, who they brought in the offseason. And it is vastly different than what we saw in 2018. Still some fun things going on at Cashman Field. Dolly and Dottie are still around, the Llamas. But they have a group of players now. You can see they're tacticians on the ball. They actually play a decent style, and they can hold it, they can move it around. It's not this choppy run and gun type stuff we saw in 2018. They have no problem sitting and just knocking it around a little bit.
And how about this? We get a stat from an old pal and colleague in Brian Duvall, who's now out in the desert in Vegas. For the first time this season, Las Vegas has held their opponent scoreless after the 17th minute. It's incredible.
Here's what's incredible. The fact that that has happened, yes. What's incredible is that they're in the situation that they're in with their record. I mean, that's the stat. So you give up a goal before the 17th minute. I mean,
every time you're away from home.
Every time you're away from home. And yet you're still sitting at full 4-2. I mean, 10 games in, you've got 14 points. Look how the math, solid. It shows you the progression this organization is making.
Good ball across. Lubin wasn't sure whether to stay or whether to go. And Austin Ledbetter will just happily play it out. Corner kick coming for Las Vegas. Loose in front, Adam John able to come away with it. Nervy moments for Phoenix, but now could be looking to counter on the other end. Good challenge. Now it's Flemings looking for Solomon Asante, and it's off the post. Oh, that would have been absolutely sensational. And the offside flag is up. What a ball from Flemings, what a run from Solo.
Thomas Olsen thanking his lucky stars. The ball is sublime, and he has a great touch to get into the far post. However, the woodwork will be the best friend of not just Thomas Olsen, but the back line of Las Vegas Lights. Transitional play, struggling for Las Vegas so far. Now is the time where Gabe Robinson, Jabatori have to get on the same talking point with their back line. They are becoming exposed when a lot of space is becoming readily available. That's why they are sitting deep. That's why they are trying to remain compact, but that will not always be the case. They have to communicate more efficiently.
And a free kick awarded to Phoenix. Phoenix Rising is pleased to have players of Phoenix Rising Youth as tonight's First Watch Ball Kids. Be sure to visit www.firstwatch.com to find your neighborhood First Watch, the Daytime Cafe. Good news is I know exactly where ours is.
Ridiculous.
We still on for our brunch date tomorrow?
Do we have a brunch date?
We do now.
Oh, look at that. Ample opportunity, my friend.
Well done. So if we don't spend enough time together.
3.5 millimeters. Centimeters?
Centimeters.
Whatever the metric system
said,
is.
yeah. Here's Baccaro. Right at Olsen. We've been running through the numbers with Vegas, but we usually don't do that as that's a hospital ball sent in the direction of Junior Flemings. We usually don't do that unless it truly speaks volumes about the side as Phoenix are barking for a handball on Torres. We'll hold the thought for a moment as Pablo Cruz has an option available on the left and Eric Gonzalez. He goes out wide. Ledbetter out to meet him. Cruz whips it in. Cochran ends up winning the header. First time effort from Junior Sandoval is a swing and a miss, and he catches a bit of flack from the Phoenix faithful. And this theme with Vegas not starting well on the road is also a theme with just their entire season. 14 out of their 18 goals this season haven't scored after the 45th minute. And Eric Winalda is telling us that, you know, in certain games, in certain situations, he's sort of taking in this rope-a-dope method. But I also think that that may just be his style as a coach in general. As Vegas whip in an early cross, Cochran again to meet it.
Regardless of the variables at play, no one's style is playing from behind. It doesn't matter what they say. That's just not being mentally focused in a game. You have to come prepared to a match. And to have that sort of statistic, opening 17 minutes and your goals in the second half, being a second half team, you can make a bigger argument for on the offensive side of things, wearing teams down, letting them become mentally fatigued, as opposed to giving goals up early on in the game. The early goals in the game, that's not okay. There's no excuse for that whatsoever. I'll give them credit on the offensive side for the latter argument.
Well, it's just the fact that he likes to give teams a bit of false hope and a sense of false confidence in the opening moments. But I 100% agree with you. You can't just come out and concede in the 13 minutes and then go and score your goals in the second half.
Exactly.
It's not going to work that way.
Make that argument for yourself without giving a goal up. Play the 0-0 game until the 70th minute and then go wreak havoc. As A.J. Cochran wreaking havoc on Irvin Parr's back a little bit. Just a friendly little nudge. Irvin Parr, this is what they're lacking right now. And I guarantee you, coming into the second half, a change will be made in this area, whether Eric's playing cat and mouse or not. He'll bring on Sammy Ochoa. You need a big body up top right now to hold the ball up. Irvin Parra is on an island by himself, and he just doesn't carry that stature to be able to have the hold-up play for the position that they're in. If you're going to pack it in and then try and move a lineup, you need someone who can have that big physical presence, so when the ball gets knocked up, he can hold it for you, maintain it for 2-3 touches, then lay it off. They're drastically missing Sammy Ochoa's size.
Junior Flemings with some more good hold-up play on the left wing and able to win Phoenix another corner. Just a half an hour played here at Casino Arizona Field. Still no score between these high-octane offenses in Vegas and Phoenix. As the corner almost actually ended up flying in. Nodded away by Moby Fair, 24-year-old who was born in New York City. We'll do it one more time from the other side. Phoenix will elect to play short. Vaquero on the first time wasn't a bad idea. It'll fall for Flemings, and he sends it over. Flag stayed down, would have counted. And you can chalk it up to the third golden opportunity for Phoenix. It ends up coming up short.
A couple of the boys on the lights were looking to the assistant referee to see if Junior Flemings had drifted offside. It's a deflection that comes back in after John Vaquero's missed opportunity. Junior Flemings about 10 yards out, trying to pick out that upper corner. It's 3 for Phoenix in the first half, opening 30 minutes. That kind of gives you an idea of the lights conceding. They haven't been able to do so far, and that's the last thing you want to do. The lights are a type of team where if you let them hang around, they will find a way to come back and bite you.
Good movement from Pablo Cruz. Ledbetter chasing after him. Cruz a great back heel, but going to ground and getting in a beautiful challenge is Jose Aguinaga. And a corner coming up for Vegas. And thanks to our friends at Jackson's Car Wash, you get a free car wash with every Phoenix Rising ticket. Visit phxrisingfc.com/Jacksons for more information. Gonzalez whips it in. It balls around a little bit and finds the feet of Junior Flemings. Flemings taken down, and that should be mustered, and indeed it will be. And it'll be issued to Moby Fair.
To be fair for Moby Fair, it's the right decision. If Flemings gets by him, all bets are off. Phoenix Rising going the other direction, 100 miles an hour. Moby Fair recognizes it. He's a seasoned pro. Understand what has to be done of it. There are just too many red shirts around him, so when he slides over, tactical foul, yeah, you pick up the card. But he's a very disciplined player who normally doesn't exert himself in that manner, so don't be worried about a second one.
To be fair, if he ever wants to host his own podcast, the name already came up itself. Here's Asante. Range effort, always skewing wide. And that's something we've seen from Solo a lot this year. The ball striking that we were used to seeing in 2018, especially shots from distance, has not been as clean in the past. Cochran wins the header, all sorts of space for Vaquero. Poor giveaway from Phoenix, could be on here. Sandoval, it's off the post. Follow-up effort denied by Vaquero. And both keepers have been saved by the woodwork in the opening half hour here in the Valley of the Sun.
Difference is here, Zach Lubin not doing himself any favors, the poorest of touches. As he tries to play it across his body, recognizes immediately. How does Junior Sandoval to not finish this one off? Beats the goalkeeper and everything, but the far post denies.
Ensuing corner. Bicycle kick attempt wasn't too far off from Irvin Parra. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Pablo Cruz, all sorts of space to work with. Kevon Lambert coming back in support. Gonzalez coming around the bend, but the ball played straight to Solomon Asante. Cruz hunting after it. Piquero keeps a cool head and finds Solo. Lambert trying to pick out Aguinaga. Probably should have been played into space, but it'll fall for John instead. More than 10 minutes remaining until we reach the halftime whistle. Great little back heel from Cruz. He's really playing a solid first half as Irvin Parra is looking for an avenue but being hounded by Kevon Lambert. And Adam John commits the foul. Devin Kerr is not a huge fan of the call.
There's been some challenges that have been flying around here in the first half, but this week the referee just kind of follows the forward. I mean, credit to Irvin Parra. He sees the challenge coming, just leans into it a bit. Sometimes forwards know exactly what's coming and are willing to take the brunt of the challenge. This time he just saw the referee was probably in the wrong spot to get the correct view of what was about to be. Well, this Las Vegas Lights gaining some momentum now, starting to knock it around. Don't really like the look by Christian Torres in the middle of the field. I like him better as an outside back, outside midfielder. When you close him off on the interior, really doesn't allow him to use his best attributes going forward. Junior Sandoval starting to get running. He's actually moved up next to Irvin Parra. And if you watch when the Lights move forward, it's actually kind of like how they defend. They move in this cohesive unit. 6, 7 guys going forward. They stack the top. Outside wings get involved. Overlapping runs by Eric Gonzalez. Moby Fair will be the one that will sit, though. You'll always have the 3 at the back, and Javan Torre, Gabe Robinson, Moby Fair. Eric Gonzalez tends to be the more active on the left-hand side.
Foul committed by Parra. Eric Winaldo's not happy about it in the near technical area. A lot of your screen just a moment ago. Cochran, good ball in for John. He tries to help it along for Junior Flemings. Fans follow Phoenix Rising Las Vegas and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and much more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Asante, it's a nice little cutback. He gets taken down by Levine, and the set piece coming up for Phoenix Rising.
Classy display of sportsmanship by the former Tulsa Roughneck. Something that got away from him a bit in the Open Cup match, got thrown out just at the tail end. If you're gonna head out, why not? Red card. See you later, boys.
You're the worst person to talk to that about, because it doesn't matter what minute you get sent off, and I feel like you come away from that game saying, hey, I did my job. If you got thrown out, you, not anybody else.
That's not true. It's mildly true.
Delivery straight in. Ledbetter wins it. Flemings was hoping it would fall to his feet, but Las Vegas cleared their lines only as far as Luigi Mala. He just pops the header straight up. Wijnaldum showing that he's still got a little bit of it. Ball through for Jose Aguinaga. Flemings and John in the penalty area. Aguinaga trying to just brush one in, and Olsen will see it out.
Not a bad look by Aguinaga, but need a bit more pace to bring this ball back across, allow anybody the opportunity to get on the end of it.
+100 caps for the U.S. men's national team. Thank you. Just keeping it simple.
He's got trainers on. He can get away with it.
He's just keeping it simple.
Rick's got his Colhans on. He couldn't be able to get a touch like that in. You don't want to scuff him up either.
Here's Aguinaga. Pulls it back. Lambert. Terrific finish. It's savvy play from Phoenix in tight quarters. Kevon Lambert, the beneficiary. And Phoenix Rising lead just moments before halftime.
The offensive threat that Rick Sean says has been in the making ever since he stepped foot at Phoenix Rising. They're trying to find a way to get him going forward more frequently. Great overlapping run by Ledbetter. How about the lead right at the top of the box? Adam John recognizes that Lambert's sitting behind him. He has the entire 8x8 to choose from, and the jumping Jamaican does a great job putting it in the bottom corner to get his first goal in 2019.
Phoenix finally rewarded for their dominant play in the first half. If you're on the Las Vegas side of things, you could say, well, the initial goal on the road came a lot later than we're used to, but still conceding first when not a Cashman. And Phoenix Rising finally with their lead. It comes from Kevon Lambert, who's not known to be a prolific goal scorer by any stretch of the imagination, but Rick Shantz and the coaching staff have been continuing to preach to Kevon Lambert to place it and to be a bit more finesse when in and around the penalty area, and he's certainly displayed that on that particular instance as Junior Sandoval sees his pass go awry, and he'll go all the way back for Zach Lubin. In some alternate universe, Adam John will get the assist for that goal.
That doesn't happen without him.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
If he selfishly takes a touch, the window closes. If he tries and holds up play, the window closes. The only thing he can do there to allow Phoenix to get a shot on goal is to play the dummy. He does it. He lets it run right by him. Lambert's just sitting there. But credit to Lambert as well, because John does everything right. It's Ledbetter with a great overlapping run and ball in, because he puts it right where he's supposed to. John does a good job leaving it. But if Lambert doesn't get those one-on-one training sessions that Rick Shantz has been telling us about, he's nowhere near the top of the box, yet alone just at the top of the six. He's trailing in runs. But again, they're trying to progress this young man offensively, and it's finally paid off.
Coming up at halftime, we're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. The Rising match isn't the only big competition this weekend. Tomorrow is the Championship of Arizona Quiz Bowl, and you'll hear from host Rich Berra about the big show. That's coming up at halftime. Flying out for the Quiz Bowl. Solomon Asante, space to play, looking for delivery, and just touches it off of Yaman-Torre. And a corner kick coming up for Phoenix, perhaps looking to double their delight before the halftime break.
Smart by Asante, realized that they had a few areas to play through, and after that last touch, hadn't gotten away from him, though denied the opportunity to play it back across, just knocks it over, allows John Baccaro to get a shot at the set piece.
Intended for John at the near post. So they'll come short. They have a numerical advantage. Solomon Likes to poke it in anyway. Now here's Baquero. Oh, John Baquero, how good is that? Clips it in, Flemings blocked in front, John swiping at it, Flemings again, and it's blocked by Las Vegas. Bjornathan. The best first touch from Asante. And Vegas again trying to clear their lines, but Phoenix just with an overwhelming amount of pressure at the moment.
You have to wonder if this comes off the right arm. One of the Las Vegas Lights players. There's a boatload of traffic as this ball gets lofted in. Second chance. No, didn't right there. Nope. Ends up coming off the foot. Flemings was calling for a handball. Well done by Las Vegas Lights once again to withstand the pressure. But you have to figure there has to be a relief somewhere. They cannot maintain this for an entire 90 minutes. Put the ball on the deck, start knocking it around a little bit, gain some momentum of your own just before half. Then you regroup, find a way to impose yourself in the second 45.
Cruz at the near post, and Lubin wisely sees it on the other side of the post. And that turn from Baquero, I mean, that's a feel for the game that you simply cannot teach. Because how many players will we see feel that pressure, feel those three players coming in on you, and either try to knock it off of one of them, turn into the pressure, but he knows exactly where that pocket of space lies, almost like a quarterback who's getting flushed out of the pocket and can just sort of step up and make the play. And Baquero, I mean, that's sensational.
We also recognizes that the threat coming his direction, everybody's trying to close him down. A lot of times defensively, you're focused on what's right in front of you. So as a center back or an outside back, when you've got so many attackers inside of your 18, you're gonna step to the ball. So you get 2-3 guys, their immediate reaction is close it down. They forget about their mark behind him, they forget about the space behind him. Caro didn't. He understood that as soon as they step to me, I now with one little turn and touch can break all three lines and open up opportunity for myself, and then guys trailing on the back post.
Solo caught offside just a moment ago. It's 3 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Kevon Lambert with his first goal of the 2019 campaign just about 5 minutes ago, and that's the difference between Phoenix and Vegas. Phoenix rising at the better of Las Vegas in 2018. 2 wins and that 5-2 loss in the third and final meeting between the two sides a year ago. Update on some scores from around the Western Conference. Colorado Springs fall to New Mexico United at home by a score of 3-1. OKC Energy FC and the Monarchs finish 1-1. RGV and Los Dos finished 2-2 in a rematch of that bizarre 4-4 game a number of weeks ago. Ethan Zubak with a late game winner in the 94th minute, and as Devin so eloquently told me before the game, he scored in the 94th and there were only 3 minutes added on.
It's amazing. It truly is sometimes. That happened in their last game too. There was, I think, 5 minutes of stoppage time, and he scored at 95:04.
If I'm Jerson Echeverry, I'd blow a gasket for that entire time that the game is still going on. El Paso Locomotive beat down on Sacramento Republic 3-1 from Southwestern.
Full time?
90th, but who knows?
Basically.
Orange County 2-2 with Austin Bold. That game's just in the 60th minute. Here's Flemings. One last chance in it perhaps for Phoenix. Gets the cross away, but only as far as Moby Fair. Baquero. John, out wide for Flemings. Dinks it back in for John. Adam John on the turn. And that's going to do it for the first half. Phoenix Rising FC with a 1-0 lead thanks to Kevon Lambert's goal. That was beautifully set up in the penalty area by Jose Aguinaga, but could not have been possible without the dummy from Adam John. And Las Vegas continued to struggle away from Cashman. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
Some impressive movements by Phoenix Rising, and really liked everybody getting involved in the run of play. But too many opportunities have gone by the wayside. You cannot give Eric Winaldo's group the opportunity to stay in the game. We talked about all the goals in the second half, how they're known to concede early. There will be a storm coming out in the second half. Rick Schantz will understand this. He will let his guys know. Job well done, but job not done. 45 minutes remaining.
Well, we're headed to halftime, and that means we're kicking it with your halftime on your Phoenix CW. Phoenix Rising with a 1-0 lead, but quite honestly, it could have been more. We'll step aside and be back in a few.
I'm Adam Waltz, and you're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Welcome to halftime. The Rising match isn't the only big competition this weekend. Tomorrow night is the Arizona Quiz Bowl Championship.
What man whose voice was beamed into space died on Albert Einstein's birthday in 2018 and was a physicist? Red team.
Stephen Hawking.
Correct.
Your Phoenix CW's Arizona Quiz Bowl is the state's only local TV game show.
Welcome back to Arizona Quiz Bowl. Now
it's hosted by Rich Berra, best known as half of the morning radio duo John Jay and Rich.
The kids that come on Arizona Quiz Bowl will astound you at the knowledge that they have. Like that.
Arizona Quiz Bowl pits two high school teams against one another in a battle of the brains. In-depth questions on history, science, sports, and pop culture.
Whenever I see the questions, the first thing I think about is, do I know any of these answers? And if it is something that has to do with 80s pop, my answer is yes. Yes, I do. But when it starts getting into the Byzantine Empire and, you know, all things geography, I pretty much fold like a house of cards. I wouldn't know half of them.
But the competitors do know. And now, after a mind-bending 30 weeks of competition, it's down to the final two teams.
There's a little feeling I get with this crop from this year is that they're confident about what they know, so they kind of come in laid back, thinking they're going to crush it. But, you know, the lights go on and the camera goes on and we start rapid-firing questions. And some people can hang and other people kind of fold.
Sunday night, defending champions Corona del Sol High School will take on the newcomers from Basis Scottsdale.
I think it's interesting that Corona del Sol is back in the championship again this year. They won last year, and I don't know what is in the water there, but it's like creating the smart DNA. They're up against Basis Scottsdale A, who are no joke. I don't know who's going to win. I do like seeing a return champion because, you know, we always like to see somebody challenge the king. It's a Game of Thrones thing, I think.
Be sure to join Rich as he hosts the Arizona Quiz Bowl Championship tomorrow night at 7 right here on your Phoenix CW. Still ahead, here at halftime, we put Rich Berra in the hot seat to answer some quick questions. But first, highlights from around the USL.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Look at Taylor moving up. And Taylor with a beautiful strike. Are you kidding? It's 1-0 in the 12th minute. What can you say about a center back who has...
It's loud, and what a rip from Connor Presley. Oh, how's that for an equalizer?
And he decided just to reach his leg out there and see what he could do.
Now North Carolina with a chance. Now a shot by Miller! Stephen Miller with the strike inside the 18, ties this game up at 1 in the 66th minute.
Fleming's early ball in. John on the first time! Oh, that is clinical from Adam John! Oh, look at Fleming's and Picaro just toying with RGV. Breaking in, Kasim! Oh, what a save by Matt Pickens!
Got a run from distance, and it's a goal! Goals with the left and in.
And what a save for Van Ogle!
Here's a chance for Kasim, who puts it in!
Rodriguez returning for Reynolds. His delivery through the penalty area will fall here, and Tessman! What a strike that is from Tanner Tessman, who's equalized for North Texas.
Sweet footwork. Gallardo, the attack and the blast and a goal!
Go at it for Toronto, headed on and in. Beautiful strike there.
Shalani serves it towards the back post. Headed in the back of the net. It's a goal for Lansing Ignite.
Moving right along halftime here in the Valley of the Sun. Phoenix Rising with a 1-0 lead. Devin Kerr with a very cozy looking cardigan on, and we hope that you are enjoying a snack, a beverage, and whatever you might be up to at halftime. We'll take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship. Tampa Bay Rowdies and Red Bulls 2 collide. Spoiler alert, it's over. And even further than that, Tampa Bay Rowdies continue to get it done.
Beast mode.
Neil
Beast
Collins,
mode.
Favorite for manager of the year so far? It's got to be.
Easily.
It's got to be.
I mean, can't call him comeback player anymore.
he's
not
playing
the back line anymore.
But you could certainly attribute all of his defensive prowess to the fact that he was a center back, and Tampa Bay just...
Going back 2018, they're actually 12 unbeaten because they finished the last 3 games of the year, so 9-3. I mean, it's big math.
You do your prep work?
Big things going on.
Look at that. Phoenix Rising. These are live standings thanks to our outstanding producer, Sharna Yerke. Phoenix, 3rd place with a win. After all this talk of how mediocre of a start it was, which, to be fair, at times it was, but thanks to the Western Conference just beating the living hell out of each other, it's simply is what it is. 3rd place. They're looking to hang on to it and keep the mojo rolling in the second half. Phoenix and Vegas separated by only a goal. We'll be back in a few moments.
Welcome back to Kicking It. I'm Adam Waltz. He's a star of radio and TV, but how much do you really know about Rich Berra? Let's see what happens when he answers some quick questions.
Rick Dees or Casey Kasem?
Casey Kasem, America's Top 40.
Google or Siri?
Siri.
Time travel to the past or time travel to the future?
I like to time travel to the future. That way I can determine what my financial future is going to be like. The future. I've already been to the past.
Billboard Music Awards or Video Music Awards?
Video Music Awards, for sure.
Pet monkey or pet camel?
I go pet monkey, although I like it when monkeys and camels become friends in cartoons.
Sports car or SUV?
Sports car.
American Idol or AGT?
American Idol. American Idol was the orig. Gotta go American Idol.
Paula Abdul or Katy Perry?
Paula Abdul. Come on. She danced with Scat Cat.
Flagstaff or Tucson?
Tucson. Tucson's, Tucson.
Ocean or mountain?
I go ocean.
Chinese food or Mexican food?
Mexican food.
M&M's or Reese's?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is the ultimate candy. In fact, there doesn't even need to be another candy. Reese's.
Acoustic guitar or electric guitar?
You just asked me acoustic guitar or electric guitar. Acoustic.
Scorpion or rattlesnake?
Which is my favorite or the one I'm afraid of? I cry more like a girl when I see a rattlesnake, so I'm gonna go rattlesnake.
Small stage or big venue?
Small stage.
Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram.
Front row or backstage?
Front row.
Shock jock or dumb jock?
Shock jock.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
You're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. The second half is up next.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Almost ready for the second half, and that means we'll take a look at the half that was here at Casino Arizona Field between Phoenix Rising and Las Vegas Lights FC. Tyler Terrence along with the former German pro Devin Kerr. Glad to have you with us on this Saturday night in the USL Championship. And Devin, I mean, Phoenix had a number of chances. This was in the first 2 minutes.
Opening 5 minutes. Adam John, how do you not finish this off? Thomas Olsen, good save, but still, it's right at the goalkeeper the entire way. And to be honest, opening 10 minutes, they probably should have been up 2-0. There were some good runs, some good looks. This was where that all started. Nice overlapping run by Austin Ledbetter on the right side. Good touch into Aguinaga. Greater leave by John. Von Lambert, 1-0. It's everything they've asked from the midfielder. Get into a higher line, play the more offensive role, but then double back. Be that box-to-box midfielder that everybody wants you to be. I'll take the goal. I'll take the 1-0.
Well, not only is it what they asked from the midfielder, but it's what they asked from their outside backs as well. In Austin Ledbetter getting forward and getting involved in the attacking play, as it looks like we are going to have a substitution on the Las Vegas side of things at the very least. And it's Sammy Ochoa coming in for Christian Torres, as well as Christian Hernandez coming on. So it's a double switch from Eric Winalda. And Devin Kerr is very proud of himself for more or less predicting this on point.
Should have taken a picture of what's going on. I'm still waiting on the third one.
You motioned to me more or less like at the 20th minute. Yeah.
I said, this is going to happen.
It's amazing that at this point in your life, that's like what I can get the biggest smile out of you for, is you correctly guessing substitutes.
Not much else going on right now, my friend. You know what they pay? They pay with maize.
I apologize to anybody at home who's not a big Adam Sandler fan and not following Devin Kerr's movie quotes.
Well, the good news is they probably know who Adam Sandler is, not Sadler.
Sadler? There was an Adam Sadler at some point in time. First time effort from Hernandez, and it's off the post. Immediately making an impact. So that's 2 woodworks now for Vegas, 1 for Phoenix.
Well, you do not sleep on this squad. Massive amounts of talent. And I pointed to these guys, Christian Hernandez, Tripa, as well as Sammy Ochoa up top, because of the talent and because how it can change this game so dramatically. It gives them the ability to have that hold-up play up top. There's some nice movement underneath, a lot of speed still on the pitch, and it allows Irvin Parr to open up opportunities for himself as well. And that's the biggest key. This is a guy who's got 7 goals on the season so far, was the first one to hit the double-double in the USL back in the 2017 season, who's pretty much been silent in the first half. They have to find a way to get him involved in the run of play. These 2 substitutions will allow them to do so.
Eric Winalda wasn't exactly happy with the clearance because it didn't get very far, but Vegas fortunately able to play out of pressure quite nicely. Here's Jonathan Levine. Heavy touch, and look at Adam John come swooping in to put in the challenge. Takes a couple deflections, still available for Vegas. Well played by A.J. Cochran, and Luigi Mala just thumps it in the other direction, and it's actually perfectly into space for Junior Flemings. Handled well by Gabe Robinson, though, the 24-year-old from Valencia, California. Played for the Cal State Northridge. What, Mr. Devin Kerr?
The Bucks.
No, I told you that I had a good one for you for this game.
Can I get a hint?
Starts with an M.
The Mountain Men, the Mountaineers, the Minutemen.
The Matadors.
I was getting there.
No, you were not.
The Matadors. Cal State Northridge Matadors.
Step your game up, bro. Low cross. Ochoa went for the flick. Christian Hernandez is saying maybe you should have let that go, similar to what Adam John did for the Kevon Lambert goal. But Ochoa, who scored at the midweek against Cal FC, couldn't quite turn that one home.
Ochoa trying to bring this quite fancily between that left foot and flicking on. Getting cute in front of Zach Lubin. Tripa in behind. The substitutes we talked about, Christian Hernandez. I love the nickname, Tripa, means stomach ache. So that every single time he plays that he turns the stomachs of the opposition over and over and over again with his fair game and the way that he just is a thorn in the side. And they call him Tripa. I don't mind it. He's proven that he's one of the go-tos for Eric Ronaldo so far in this 2019 season. One of the big turnarounds in the middle of the field, and you'll see what he does. He'll tuck inside.
Lambert, good ball through, trying to find John, but Olsen sharp off of his line and read it the entire way. Thomas Olsen, who made a couple of saves in the first half, but more or less were taken right at him between Junior Flemings and Adam John. And look at the recovery pace from Kevon Lambert. And now Phoenix coming out the other way. Junior Flemings leading the charge. Numbers forward for Phoenix. John trying to go back for Flemings. Flag stays down, back across, solo! Oh, that is electric from Phoenix on the break. Solomon Asante is back, and Phoenix lead by 2.
Rick Schantz told us he wants to put the ball on the deck and play a bit more. But I'll tell you what, when you have firepower like this, sometimes you just got to get up and go. Junior Flemings loads of space to run with. Nice little 1-2. He's got a quick hesitation in his run. Solomon Asante just puts on the wheels on the back door and just takes off the entire way. All he has to do is stay the course. Sitting on the back post, Fleming puts it on a platter. Solomon Asante gets his first goal since that 4-0 victory at home against Tacoma Defiance.
4th goal of the season for Solomon Asante, and perhaps more impressively, 5th assist of the season for Junior Flemings. Adam John, again, integral in creating the goal. He won't get credit on the score sheet, but he is doing so many good things up top for Rick Schantz. And what a massive goal for Phoenix, because with the substitutions that were made by Eric Wijnaldum, Christian Hernandez striking the post within the first 2 minutes at halftime, that is a total momentum killer for Vegas, who we can confidently say have been a second-half team, especially on the road and even at home for most of 2019.
13 out of 18 goals coming in the second half, and you're spot on about John, because John could have easily sat deep and waited for it, but he didn't. Right when he saw Flemings making the progression, he took about 3 steps close to the run of play. That allowed him to stay onside. And when you took a look at the replay, 2 guys from Las Vegas Lights had their hands up. They didn't realize that John had followed the high line up. It was smart by the big number 9 up top, and the defensive unit just didn't understand what was coming.
Sonic's new Red Bull Slush was a no-brainer. Slushes are a crowd favorite. Red Bull is a crowd favorite. Hurry into Sonic for your new favorite drink. Curled into the path of Hernandez. The flag is going to stay down. Hernandez, good skill. Pulls it back. Parra going for the curler. Certainly got Lubin out of his seat.
The 2-0 lead is nice cushion here. Don't go to sleep though. Irvin Parra starting to calculate some things. I told you, when Sammy Ochoa comes on, it provides another dimension. Irvin Parra roaming free in the first half. It was just too much for him to bear. Now that burden can be placed on the shoulders of both Sammy Ochoa, Irvin Parra, and Christian Hernandez, who can push up on that right-hand side to make this into a front 3. They get Pablo Cruz involved, it can turn into 4 or 5. And it just starts to give them loads of opportunities. So the back line of Phoenix Rising have to make sure they stay calculated.
That pass from Flemings just out of the reach of Adam John. And it's given right back to Adam John. However, he coughs it back up. It's off for our referee, Mark Allerton, and Phoenix, especially Jose Aguinaga, were hoping they'd be able to collect it, but Kyle Bjornathan was already making his recovery run, and rightfully so, because now he picks off the pass. And possession continues to change hands as now Ochoa will commit the foul. Almost 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Phoenix able to double their lead Thanks to the goal from Solomon Asante. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search Phoenix Rising or Las Vegas Lights FC, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on those teams' next home matches. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Pablo Cruz in for Parra. Finds a nice little pocket of space in between the midfield and defense of Phoenix. Aginaga able to put in a challenge. Lubin's clearance only as far as Victor Rojas. Now here's Parra again. Very dangerous on the ball. Pulls it back for Rojas, but it's out of his reach. And now here comes Flemings on the other end. Where have we seen this before? And Flemings actually takes a knock on the leg. And this long-range effort straight into the arms of Zach Lubin.
Well, something just coming to mind here as we took a look at the score lines around the league. New Mexico United get the 3-1 victory tonight. Can't wait to see your facial reaction when I tell you this. Kevon Frater, hat-trick.
Get out of 10.
Another 3. The kid's in some kind of run of form.
Here's Ledbetter finding Aginaga, and a good step from Gabe Robinson. It's his former club, no less. It just seems like he's on a mission. And it's not like he didn't have success at Colorado Springs. I mean, that's what sort of gave him his window of opportunity with Phoenix. Things didn't work out in the Valley of the Sun. New opportunity with New Mexico United. Already has 10 goals this season as Cruz pulls one long.
Website hasn't updated their statistics yet. We're going to have a word about that as he is now 2 ahead of Tom Barlow. Second hat trick this year.
They don't update those until after the weekend. You should know that by now.
Unfortunately, I don't know much about anything.
If there is one thing you do know about, it's the USL Championship.
Aginaga doesn't know about the referee's decision here. He's right, though. Valentin just reminding him who's boss. This is the area where Las Vegas Lights start to turn it on. Dead ball situations seem to be an area of high interest. Zach Lubin has to be very careful with Tripa standing over the ball. The left footer is tricky, could have a go.
It's delivery, the header is just over the bar.
He's right there. Loads of space for Irvin Parra here in the second half. At some point in time, much like Phoenix in the first, he's just got to finish. Hernandez puts it right where it's supposed to be, spinning away the entire time. Couldn't get it. The near post run of Sammy Ochoa. Parra right at the penalty mark. Still difficult to take as you got to come down and then bring it back up to challenge Zach Lubin.
Very solid since coming on. Good entry pass into Parra. Comes back out for Victor Rojas. Sprays it over for Pablo Cruz. Ledbetter left 1v1. Cruz very tricky. Overlapping run. Ball to near post. Cleared by Kevon Lambert. And a corner kick coming up for Vegas. But folks, it's time for the Sonic Happy Hour, brought to you by Sonic and your new favorite drink, the Red Bull Slush. If a rising player scores during the 60th minute, one lucky fan will win a $500 Sonic gift card. For more info, visit phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. And a goal kick coming for Zach Lubin.
Just mistimed on the back post by Gabe Robinson. He's got good ups, and this guy's interesting. And these are bold, bold words. However, Eric Winalda told us that he thinks he's one of the best players that he's ever seen in the air and compared him to Eddie Pope. Said that he never saw anyone better in the air. Former U.S. men's national team player Eddie Pope, former DC United legend, and he's comparing him to him. Those are massive, massive words.
I was insulted when you asked me if I knew who he was.
What? You've never seen Days of Thunder.
Those two have nothing to do with each other.
They have everything to do with each other. They had a run in the late 80s, early 90s. Eddie Pope was mid-90s, but still.
Ridiculous.
I'll tell you what, though. Keep an eye. You haven't had to see it so far, which is a good thing for Phoenix Rising. But if Las Vegas Lights get an opportunity in the final third here, Gabe Robinson can throw the ball 50 yards on a rope. It is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Long throw, yes. This is on a whole nother level, though.
Obi Fair wins the header. Flemings will just try to see this one out. And a corner kick coming up for Phoenix.
Have you ever seen Top Gun?
Stop.
Be honest.
Stop. Yes. I've seen it more years than you've been alive.
Really?
Really?
You've seen it more years than I've been alive.
Yes.
You've seen it more times.
That goes without saying.
No.
You just cut it out.
This would be a good opportunity for Phoenix Rising here to really get out in front. Been struggling a bit here in the second half. Las Vegas Lights finding their way back into this match.
Big switch back for Baquero. He wins the header, but easy enough for Thomas Olsen. You don't watch Game of Thrones, so you have no legs to stand on.
It's not really an argument, but okay.
It's just the reverse generational argument.
No, it's not.
Okay, fine.
I've lived in fantasy world. I enjoy the Matrix, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff.
You haven't lived until you've seen the Red Wedding.
Okay. Phoenix looking to consummate their dominance over Las Vegas Lights here, as they are 2-1-0 all time, looking for their third victory.
Kevon Lambert, another crunching tackle in the middle of the field. Able to win back possession for Phoenix. Baquero in for John. And it's broken up by Robinson, who's now going to get forward. And Las Vegas will leave themselves exposed at the back with a chance to try to pull one back. Parra knocks it across, handled by Malo. Moby Fair drills one in. Pushing down, Lambert will bring it down. 2-0 to Phoenix Rising here at Casino Arizona Field. Fourth all-time meeting between Las Vegas and the boys wearing red and black. Tyler Terrence along with the ex-German pro. Glad to have you with us. Kevon Lambert with the goal in the 40th. Solomon Asante with the goal in the 51st. Solomon Asante's first goal since returning home to the Valley of the Sun, as Joey Calistri is going to come on here as the first substitute for Rick Shantz. And he'll replace Jose Aguinaga, who put in a very solid shift and was part of that scintillating play in the middle of the park for Phoenix, and gets much love from Rick Shantz, who's sporting his Military Appreciation Night tie, as Adam John just thumps one to the back post. And Asante will see it out.
That was one of the better two-way performances we've seen out of Aguinaga this season. A guy who, I want to say, has struggled, but offensively and defensively making an impact. Seems to be intermittent based upon the squad.
Well, the moves from Asante to set up the cross and then finding a little window to find the diving Adam John was nothing short of spectacular.
John having a few words with the head referee as well as the linesman, feeling like took a challenge and there was a deflection that went over the end line here, one in a corner.
Was there not?
It's 50-50. It's quite close, to be honest.
Guatemala steps up and win it. Asante, bend one in again for John. Baquero. He goes solo again. Lambert. Turn for Ledbetter. Wants an option. Solo drops to give him one. Back for Lambert. Now it's for John. Sliding at him. John couldn't quite get to it. Turnover from Vegas. Fleming's trying to make the most out of it, but pulls the shot wide. He claims they took a deflection. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday, May 22nd at 5 p.m. local time for Wednesday Night Soccer as league newcomers Birmingham Legion FC welcome Nashville SC. It's the week's best match on Wednesday Night Soccer, May 22nd at 5 p.m. Arizona time on ESPN News. Nashville coming off a not-so-hot result. 1-1 draw at home against the Charlotte Independents, who have struggled mightily at the start of 2019.
How about Birmingham? 0-0 draw on the road at North Carolina FC. That's a good result. It's a good result.
It's not a great result.
North Carolina doesn't lose at home.
They continue to prove that.
Okay.
It'll be Joey Farrell coming onto the scene here in the 68th minute. Bluebill, Pennsylvania native. And he'll replace Luigi Mala. Thoughts on Mala's performance tonight, Dev?
Good enough. Trying to get some game fitness back into him. To be fair, most of what the back line has had to do is it's controlled chaos. It's 100 miles an hour, go the other direction. Can you maintain your shape? While Vegas is running 6, 7, 8 guys at you, they've been able to do that. And that's difficult when you're only sitting with 4 or 5 in the back.
So Farrell, who's been A.J. Cochran's center back partner for the majority of the year, with the exception of the first few games, take his spot right next to the former Atlanta United 2-man as Lambert taken down by Ochoa. Ledbetter tinks one over the top. And that Calistri will be able to get there, but pardon me, other way around. Calistri dropped deep, and that was intended for Ledbetter. Just goes to show the movement of Phoenix on the right-hand side. Is that a good enough cover?
Did well. Proud of you. You have to be proud of the outside backs. Debut, high-powered offense in Vegas and their ability to shove numbers your direction, and especially at the rate that they do in transition. Kyle Bjornathan on the left, Ledbetter on the right. Ledbetter feeling comfortable now and feeling like he can make some runs forward. Was instrumental. Kevon Lambert's goal in the first half. If you keep an eye on him, it's simple. Touch and play, nothing crazy. Kids at home want to figure out how to play with the big boys and take a step to the next level. Keep it simple. Just put the ball on the deck and let it work for you, nice and quick.
And it's going to be Preston Itaka coming on and replacing Jonathan Levine in the 70th minute. Itaka from Cameroon, just 20 years old, on loan from MFK Vyškov in the Czech Republic. I don't know what you're so upset over there about. I mean, you got the two right in Hernandez and Ochoa coming on at halftime. If you're a baseball player, you'd be in the Hall of Fame. What are you, like 2 for 7?
Definitely better than that. You know it. 2 for 3 tonight. Just felt like my switch was the better switch. Talk to Eric after the game. We'll see exactly what his thought process was and why he didn't want my input. That's probably why he's ignoring my phone calls.
I have 2 thoughts on this. One is that there's a reason you're sitting next to me right now. And 2,
it's not true.
You never wanted to be a coach anyway, so why are you trying to be one right now?
I didn't want to be a coach, you're right.
Leave it to him, all right?
I'd still be sad.
Be sad. It's okay.
It's hard to believe, but I have feelings too. Game's hit a bit of a lull. There was a spark from Las Vegas right at the start of the second, and felt like maybe they could go grab one, get it level. And then even after the second goal, there were a couple glimpses. But that striking partnership I talked to you about with Ochoa and Parra up top.
Asante for Flemings, Junior Flemings, and Olsen makes another save. It's the second time tonight we've seen Junior 1v1 with Olsen, and he probably could not hit it more direct at Olsen if he tried.
He had 2 right at him, the one over the near post that he just rocketed over, and then Adam Johnstitter as well. I mean, those are, forget the one where he puts it over the bar, 3 blatant opportunities to put one in the back of the net.
Shitaka on the other end. And Lubin able to handle the delivery from Obi Fair.
And where I was leading with that was there was this nice partnership starting to develop with Hernandez, Parra, and Ochoa. Even after the second goal, it continued. But playing out of the back has been quite poor, to be honest, in the second half for Las Vegas Lights. Consistently turning the ball over. There's checks in the middle of the field. They're not finding the holding midfielder. And it's that much more difficult for them to put any sort of rhythm together. So I can understand the movement by Wijnaldum. Watch out, that is late.
The card's already out. I didn't even see him reach for his pocket, but Kyle Bjornathan shown mustard here in the 73rd.
He feels hard done because it's his first foul, but this is a late challenge and it's reckless as well. Bjornathan coming in very heavy on this near touchline. You're going to get a better look. Just outside of the overstretch.
It's a clever first touch from Fair because, to be fair, again, if Fair doesn't take that touch, Bjornathan probably gets the ball and comes away with the ball.
Still could break his ankle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how close this is to really hurting someone.
Ochoa with a strong hold-up header. Cruz just lofts one in. And Zach Lubin off of his line once again. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. John slips on the turn from Torre. Jonathan almost caught himself in a bit of hot water, but did well to turn out of pressure. Find the head of Junior Flemings. Good idea from Calistri. Now it's Solomon Asante on the ball. Already with a goal tonight. Calistri back in for Solo. And a heavy second touch. move here from Vegas. Itaka knocks it across. Again, Phoenix with the last-ditch defending. John comes from behind, and Hernandez went down rather easily, says Mark Allerton. Phoenix with a 3v3 if they hurry. Flemings on the end of a great ball from Solomon Asante. And Vegas with some good transitional defending. And a corner coming up for Phoenix. And fans, don't forget to get your tickets now for the Rising's next home match on Friday, June 7th. It's time for another dollar beer night at Casino Arizona Field. Visit phxrisingfc.com for ticket info.
That'll be a fun one. They're actually going to be honoring the U17 winning side, Dallas Cup champions. It'll be the match against the Tulsa Roughnecks. Good on for those youngsters.
Farrell wins the initial header. One from Bjornathan. Defensive work from Victor Rojas, gives it away right to Asante. In for Flemings, great little turn. Another solid move, but broken up right at the last moment. Moby Fair gives it away. John on the turn. It sneaks past Olsen and it's in. It's a third for Phoenix. It'll wrap up 3 points.
Not a massive amount of celebration from Adam John. He knows it's a bit lucky. Thomas Olsen does not give up second chance opportunities like this. But the perseverance of Junior Flemings right at the top of the box. Moby Fair coughs it up in front of John. John's able to get one off. Another opportunity which ends up right in the goalkeeper's arms, except this time he spills it through. He gets his 6th goal of the season. Phoenix get their 3rd goal of the night. As Tyler Terrence alluded to, most assuredly 3 points. You got to feel for the goalkeeper. It's just that kind of night where chance after chance gifted to him. 2 goals that weren't necessarily his fault. Quite difficult for him to make a save, but his offense hasn't really helped him out either. And then you get the one that just right ability to cradle it. Maybe a last-ditch effort, drop it and goes through.
Being told that James Moose is going to come on and replace John Baccaro. Lambert, great turn, finding Asante. Solo somehow gets that away for Lambert.
Christian Hernandez getting stuck in. Solomon Asante on the far side. Now he and Adam John having words. That's a difficult angle. We'll leave it at that. Hard to tell the full effect of the challenge on Solomon Asante as he's now getting into some verbal jousting with some of the Lights players. As the head referee, you have to be careful here. Hitting the 80th minute, up 3-0. Sammy Ochoa has now talked himself into a card. Don't want to let this game get away from you from an emotional standpoint. Irvin Parr trying to let them know that the captain said, guys, just back off, give us a chance here. We still have time.
So there were some other mustards dished out, but we're still waiting on confirmation as to exactly who was the recipient of perhaps a little spicy brown or Dijon. Maybe a little bit of Poupon, Devin, whatever you're feeling tonight. I could go for a little spicy brown. Maybe on a Jimmy John sub. Stop. Speaking of Jimmy John subs, James Musa will come on as a substitute.
That's marginal at best. John Becerra will take a seat for the evening as he continues his workload in the middle of the field for Rick Shantz and Phoenix Rising FC. The boys will be appreciative of his efforts. Nice to see him back in the lineup and making an effect. Rick Shantz seems quite happy with his movements. And James Musa, another guy who is back in the talking point of conversation in the rotation of players for this midfield trio. The resurgence of knocking the ball around a bit more than what we saw. Shantz said they'd like to change their system up, wants them to play a bit, not as direct as they were under Patrice Carteron. And it was a system, it was a process, all of this slowly becoming more and more relevant.
And this is starting to get a bit out of hand now as Moby Fair received his second yellow card. And that'll be it for Moby Fair. So Las Vegas have gotten into a lot of disciplinary issues over the past couple of games. Levine got sent off in the midweek against Cal FC. Moby Fair gets sent off in their ensuing league game. And in a Vegas side that already was going to have to see a lot of rotation due to the Open Cup advancement is starting to get thinner and thinner by the minute. James Musa having some words, Mark Allerton trying to restore order. Moby Fair will have an early shower.
James Musa now getting a talking to. Is the challenge Moby Fair. That's why it's intent. That could be a sending off without the initial yellow.
Well, I was going to say that second leg swiping like that, that's...
Notice there wasn't much argument from any of the players. I mean, they understood what Moby had done.
Bjornathan, good ball in for John. Big collision. Fleming's on the turn. There's another swipe from a Vegas player. And now the foul's going to be called. It's Victor Rojas this time. And I'm shocked that he's not receiving a card.
The referee just had words with him as well. And to see the passion, Lambert's calling him out right now. They have to be careful. Tabori Taka came over and tried to settle everybody down. He recognizes that fire in the guy's eyes. Kevon Lambert saying, come at me. Let's just let both these sides get back to business. 7 minutes. That's a bit of stoppage time. Let's just go see this thing out. Forget about all the extracurriculars.
Easily handled by Thomas Olsen. How about this? Phoenix Rising and FC Tucson more or less running simultaneously at the moment. A combined 7-0 performance for the two sides. FC Tucson up 4-0 on the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Good step by Tabori Taka. If you're Eric Ronaldo, you just want to see your boys gain a bit of momentum here and just get a springboard for the next match. This is part of a run where they've had 3 games in 8 days dating back to the Colorado Springs game and then Cal FC midweek. A lot of squad rotation, a lot of difficulty to navigate here.
And it's going to be a foul on Bjornathan. Itaka stays down. And Pablo Cruz is racing over, wondering why that's not a card. Mark Allerton is more or less saying, let me handle it. And if that is a a yellow card for Kyle Bjornathan. That would be his second.
Not a good look from Bjornathan, who has done well up until about the 65th, 70th minute mark. That's a sending off. That's a second yellow, 100%. You hate to say it with the way that Phoenix has played, but you see the step with him. He's lucky to not get another card here. Very, very lucky. And Irvin Parr is having a word, and he can understand where he's coming from.
I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, that should be a second yellow.
Absolutely.
And there wasn't intent behind it like there was on the
wasn't.
other side, but it's still a yellow.
It's still a yellow card, absolutely. There's Christian Hernandez, Pablo Cruz, all of them came over right away and said, look, you're going to treat it like that over there. Why not double it up here? And they're not wrong. Jonathan's going to be lucky to stay on the pitch. Was actually quite shocked that Mark Allerton hasn't come over to talk to his assistant referee on the near touch-in, which was right in front of him. Allerton had a good look at it, but still, your linesman's right in front of the run of play. Why not have a convo?
Pablo Cruz on the set piece now. Skips all the way through. It'll fall for Rojas. Just dumps it back in. Header won by Ledbetter. Now Musa will help it along. And it's Junior Fleming still showing some pace in the late moments of this one. Fleming's along for Solomon Asante. Has to take the scenic route, but still could be on for Phoenix. Trying to get it over for Adam John, but they were being closed down quickly by Las Vegas, who did nicely to get back behind the ball. But Phoenix in the 88th minute still showing what they're capable of with their legs and getting out on the counterattack. John wins it, back for Calistri. And it was intended for Solo, but would have been offside even if he could play it. I mean, if you're Rick Johnson, Phoenix, and you come into this game after that gut-wrenching, emotional, 120-plus minute performance against New Mexico United, a bunch of rotation along the back line, Solomon Asante, his first start since returning to the United States after the passing of his father, to get goals from Kevon Lambert, his first of the season, a goal from Asante, get back him into form, and a potential clean sheet on the horizon, given 3 switches along the back line. I don't know if you could have asked for much more.
It's impressive. And we know the Lights are difficult with their performances on the road. They don't perform well on the road, but this is still a team that had gotten 3 shutouts in the previous 6 matches. So they've shown on the defensive side of things they're much more compact, and they've started to score some goals as well. And you felt like maybe Eric Winaldo's squad, coming off the home squad win against Colorado Springs, coming off the win in US Open Cup against Cal FC, maybe they might be able to go on the road and get it done. Just not the case tonight.
What a ball from Asante. Fleming's trying to bring it down, wants to turn back on that right foot, has an option on the back post. And John wisely will hang on to it and keep it for Phoenix. Next on 2.5 men, Allen thinks Charlie's pad needs an extreme makeover. Now Berta's gonna cash in. That's coming up after the match. On the turn, shows a bit too much of it and commits the foul afterwards.
Feel frustration for the Lights. Again, some solid performances recently, and We've seen them in front of goal tonight. They've had their looks. 13 shots on goal. They put a single one on target.
Well, they did. 2 of them hit the post.
That doesn't count. They don't count it statistically as hitting on target. I get it. I agree with you. It should be, but
not only should be because it's part of the target, as Itaka a solid first touch and gets it over to the far side. Itaka again. Wants the return from Ochoa, but read nicely by Austin Ledbetter. But there are shots that hit the post and go in. Asante threads the needle. Flemings again onside. Could this be finally the one for Flemings? It is. 4 for Phoenix. Lights out.
Bit of relief by Junior Flemings. He has put in some kind of shift. A few missed opportunities in the first half, funneled over into the second. Got the great assist on the Solomon Asante goal in the 51st minute. But when would it be his time to hit the back of the net? Credit to Solomon Asante. Great run on the back post, just threads the needle between that back line. There's a real good look at what Flemings is able to do. Picks out that far corner. Thomas Olsen can do nothing but watch it hit the back of the net the 4th time tonight. Phoenix Rising had put in some kind of offensive performance. What a rebound after that gut-wrenching loss in the Open Cup draw versus New Mexico United in penalties. Asked Rick Shantz, what are the boys like? He said they're in good spirits. They picked their heads up. It showed.
Vegas the other way, potentially trying to break up the clean sheet. Cochran got a back heel to it. And Calistri doesn't want to play any games. Solo with a half-decent first touch. Cochran gives it away. Itaka. Clever from Cruz. Vegas perhaps trying to pull one back. And Joey Farrell stabs it away. And a corner coming for Vegas as we're into the 4th minute of the 4 added on. Here comes Kevon Lambert. That's going to do it full time. Phoenix Rising with back-to-back wins in league play for the first time this season. It's a convincing 4-0 performance. They get goals from 4 different players. And it is now 8 in a row unbeaten at Casino Arizona Field. Kevon Lambert is your mobile mini man of the match. This man covered an enormous amount of ground, had his first goal of the season, and did all sorts of things for Phoenix in the middle of the park that he continues to put in and week out. Solomon Asante with his first goal since returning to the squad. Devin Kerr, your thoughts on the night?
It all started with Lambert. That was the talking point coming in. Could he give them that offensive progression? 40th minute, first half, first goal of the year, thank you very much. But it's much more than that. His ability to sit in the middle of the field and dictate the rate of play, led the team in challenges, tackles, at a clip rate passing at just under 90%, and just did a good job all around. Great performance by Phoenix. They will look to continue this progression.
4 goals, clean sheet, not a bad night in the Valley of the Sun. Can't say the same for the visitors who continue to struggle away from home. We'll put a bow on it when we come back. Phoenix 4, Vegas 0 is your final score.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
The Phoenix Rising postgame show is brought to you by Nissan, innovation that excites.
Full time here at Casino Arizona Field. Solomon Asante leading the vocal charge for Phoenix Rising after the match. Back-to-back wins for the first time in 2019 for the reigning Western Conference champs in Phoenix Rising Football Club. Meanwhile, Las Vegas Lights just continue to struggle mightily on the road. They have a goal differential of over -30 in franchise history away from Cashman. Phoenix got things started late in the first half, but better late than never.
It's not a good look, and that's something difficult that Eric Winalda has to figure out a way to clean up on the road, because they put together two brilliant performances at home to then follow it up with a performance like this, and the display just wasn't there. Defensively, they were all over the place. Phoenix was able to exploit them time and time again. To be fair, they're quite lucky. This could have been 7 or 8-0. Junior Flemings, Adam John all had opportunities where they hit it right at Thomas Olson, but credit to the home squad. They kept their head up and they kept trying to push through. They were able to persevere. Lambert in the 40th, Asante in the 51st, Adam John in the 77th, finally Junior Flemings in the 92nd. And all those guys were able to get on the assist sheet as well. You know, Aguinaga was pretty impressive. I thought he did a really good job in the middle of the field. When you talk about his performances in the past and what he was able to do, he and Lambert, for me, really took the cake tonight. And this is unfortunate for Thomas Olson just at the end of it when he drops it. That was the third goal by Adam John. Fourth one would come in the way of Junior Flemings. And now it's just, can you continue this momentum? You know, that's what everything has become for both of these squads, where Phoenix goes out, they put together 1-2, they fall in the third. They have to find the repetition they saw in 2018 and find a regular push, which they haven't been able to do in 2019. Vegas just has to find a way to get a result on the road. There's no reason that you can be so good at home and then be -36 when you step away from Cashman. It's uncalled for.
Well, here's a look at the standings in the Western Conference. How about this for Phoenix Rising FC? You were hovering around the playoff line heading into tonight. You get 3 points in the Western Conference. Nowadays, that means you're in third place.
There were 14 matches today. 8 of them ended up in draws. So Phoenix, one of the teams that said, hey, you know what? You guys want to sit there? Okay, watch this. We're not idling. Good job for Phoenix Rising, jumping up the rankings. You can see they actually have a game on New Mexico United as well. Some other guys around them, work to be done. But good look for Phoenix, good momentum pushing forward. Next matchup.
Back-to-back wins for Phoenix Rising FC, and next up will be the Real Monarchs from Zions Bank Stadium a week from tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. For our outstanding crew, Sharna Yerke, producer, our director, Gage Tillotson, replay operator, Manny Simone, and my broadcast partner, Devin Kerr, Tyler Terrence, saying so long for now. 2.5 men up next on your Phoenix CW.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.